Hello and welcome back in the Gourmet Gambit. Today we're going to make a Cochinita Pibil, also called puerco pibil. It's a beautiful recipe of the Yucatan Peninsula. The traditional recipe is with a whole pig in a hole in the ground where it cooks low and slow, covered with banana leaves. Of course we're not going to dig a hole in our kitchen, but we can still do this recipe at home. The evening before we're just going to seed the Pasilla chilies and the mulato chili. And we're just going to pour some cold water. You don't want to pour too much water in there because we don't want to lose too much of our flavors, and we're going to let them soak overnight. I use a little bit more ingredients than the traditional recipe. 2 tablespoons of coarse sea salt, 1 tablespoon of epazote, 1.5 tablespoon of Mexican oregano, a tablespoon of allspice berries, half a tablespoon of black peppercorns, about 10 cloves, very important, 200 grams of achiote paste, around about 8 garlic cloves. I'm going to use some bay leaves, but I'm also going to use some bay rum leaves, cinnamon, and I got some unrefined muscovado sugar. Normally you use the sour oranges, but they are very hard to find outside of Yucatan, so I'm going to use lime juice and orange juice all together. And of course we get our chilies. They've been soaking all night long and ready to use. You can choose of course any part of the meats you like. I'm going to use a piece of shank, some pork loin, pork rib, and I'm also going to use 2 pork trotters. They are going to give us a very nice smooth texture to our meat. And we also need 4 to 5 banana leaves. We're going to use the stove to heat up the banana leaves a little bit, so they will be much more flexible to use. You see, as soon as they start to shine, they're perfect. We're also going to take off the rib. I'm using a scissor. That's much more easier for me. Well, the tradition is that you have to make the paste with your mortar, but I got quite a good amount to do there and I'm a bit lazy today. So we're going to use our blender. Add the orange and lime juice, add the achiote paste, salt, all the leaves, get all the spices in there. Not a big thing to do. The cloves, the beautiful Mexican oregano, and the garlic, and let's not forget our chilies. And here we go. And now our beautiful paste is ready. It's nice and thick, that's what we want. We're going to cover the oven plate with aluminum foil. That is going to keep all the moisture inside. We're going to put the oven on 170 degrees Celsius and we're going to let this cook low and slow for at least 6 hours. And if you get the time to cook it 7 or 8 hours, don't hesitate. We're going to slice some red onions with some habaneros and let them marinate in some lime juice. This is the traditional garnish. A little pinch of salt, and we're going to preserve our onions in the fridge. And we are 6 hours ahead, and we're going to have a look how this works out. Beautiful. Look at these trotters. They are completely melted away. So we're just going to get all these bones out. It is so nicely done, guys. We're all going to mix it through the sauce, and that's going to be so amazing. Wow, 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 wow. Get all these big bones out. And this, my friends, is the fun part of it all. Of course, we're going to use a little bit of our habanero sauce. And all that's left to say, my dear friends, bon appetit, and see you back soon.